gmail.com, please. So that I can show you some questions that'll be similar to what is on the quiz tomorrow. You may borrow a charging block, absolutely.
Hey, can you grab me the other one? I need that. Did you ask? Can I have one?
They're there, take them. That's what they're there for. Don't panic. We're good. We're good. What's the code? What's the code? You're asking me what's the code? How am I supposed to know what the code is?
Is there an AP test today?
No, not that I'm aware of. There's the code. Dig Vipo.
No, where is everybody?
Not my week to watch them.
There's no E, so you can't say V.
So say this letter for me. Pronounce it. Pronounce it. Pronounce it.
I don't know.
V.
Anything that doesn't make sense.
Like D.
Po.
So then the letter shouldn't just be V. It should be V-E.
Like you don't say.
So you want the letter V to be V-E?
Yeah, so
Oh, that
whenever
wouldn't be
you use
confusing at all.
it, you use V-E all the time.
You know how you say like depot? It's D-E, and then it's
Yeah.
How do you know it's not D-PO? P-O.
because Home Depot is not spelled like that.
Oh, and everything in the world revolves around Home Depot.
Yes.
Yeah, they also have a T in their name. I don't think we can use Home Depot.
Yeah. How come they put a T in there and it's not Home Depot?
That's how my dad
Depot.
pronounces it. Yeah, Depot.
Should be.
That's how my dad pronounces it.
That's
Yes.
Students do whatever they want. So
Your test is open note, yes.
We can use our computer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, good. Good luck.
I can look up all the answers.
You can try. You won't find them.
Why are they wrong?
It's also a fake periodic table.
Chatbot didn't help when I tried looking them up, and it really doesn't like the nice long questions that I have.
So I could look up what element has 3 D's and 2 F's.
And it won't give you one answer because there's multiple elements that have that.
Oh. So then how do we know what you meant?
Well, you're going to have to look at the entire clue.
Oh.
Oh.
I know.
Crazy.
I looked at the practice test in the booklet in this packet, and I was like, oh.
Our finals are lab.
Look at this. Look at
Our final is this
this.
test.
I knew one of them.
Liar. Yeah, it is your fault. I'm gonna punch you.
What's the most metallic element?
Well, we haven't gotten to that yet. Why?
It's like 7.
Well, is it like that most reactive element?
Then you should end it on the thing over there.
I know my cousin is crazy, but I
can you not mark KP absent so she can blank it?
What you mean?
KP is marked as excused absent. It doesn't matter what I do.
Why were she?
She's at a school function.
On what setting?
What's right now? Oh, a field trip. Oh, it's like close up.
That's where Aaron is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Why is the date long?
Because
Okay.
by me putting this on the slide, whatever day I broadcasted, it automatically broadcasts that date. However, Pear Deck doesn't recognize it, so it doesn't put the date on there.
Really?
If I go here, it puts a date in.
That's crazy.
So that way, when I make these slides up, if I don't actually broadcast, I put the long date in there, and whatever day I'm broadcasting them, it puts it in there for me. All right. Quiz tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Quiz will cover quantum numbers in the EMR. It will not cover electron configurations.
That's the A or the.
That's the 1s2, 2s2, 2p, blah, 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 that we're going to talk about today. Quantum numbers, the 4 quantum numbers. What they mean, how many different orientations there are, how many different sublevels there are, what number represents an S sublevel, what number represents a D sublevel, what number represents a P sublevel, all that stuff. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, 1 week from today is the last day for any retakes for Unit 7 if you plan to do them. You need to give me your corrections. You need to tell me when you're coming in to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Questions? Good. Excellent. Wonderful. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. How many sublevels are there in the third energy level, ladies and gentlemen? Put your cursor over the correct answer. How many sublevels in the third energy level?
Well, magnifying glass.
Why would I know what's going on? I haven't been here in 3 days.
Because you said it's light work and you're good. Don't worry about it, Jay.
I haven't been here in 3 days. I don't know.
The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is 3. The S, the P, and the D. By the way, the number of the energy level is also the number of sublevels. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth, but how many of them do we use?
4.
We don't use any more than 4 sublevels.
You have a 3 on your hand. Oh, wait, no.
I have fingers on my hand. What?
So what do we? You know how we subtracted 1 from the?
That is the formula that will give it to you. So, okay, the formula for figuring out the sublevels is from 0 to n minus 1. So when the first energy level, n is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So there is 1 sublevel, the 0 sublevel. The second energy level, you have 2 minus 1, which is 1. So the sublevels are 0 and 1, the S and the P. Here, 3 minus 1 is 2, so you have the numbers 0, 1, and 2. Questions? Good. What are the sublevels in the second energy level, ladies and gentlemen? What are the sublevels in the second energy level? Please give me the letters. If you want to give me the numbers, you could do that too, but I would prefer the letters.
Okay, can you come here for a second?
Okay, but only one.
Can you come here for like 30 seconds? Do you mean like for this one it would be this one or this one just because it's in the numbers are under them?
These are the sublevels. So those are the numbers. But what letter represents that?
Can you teach me what's happening?
What letter represents that?
I'll
You can either give me the letters or you can give me the
And we had a sub Monday.
numbers.
I actually got it right.
S and P, if you gave it to me as numbers, it would be 0 and 1. 0 represents the S sublevel, 1 represents the P sublevel. Please remember, they are called quantum numbers. There is a number for each of the 4, and that is why the last number is the magnetic spin, which is represented by what numbers? Come on, what is the last number of the 4?
3.
So for example, 1, comma 0, comma 0. What's the last number? Plus 1/2 or minus 1/2? That would be your 4 quantum numbers. How many orientations are there for a P sublevel? How many orientations are there for a P sublevel? This is the azimuthal number. How many different values are there for a P sublevel? Orientations, azimuthal numbers, however you wish to describe it. Put your cursor over the one that you think is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Correct answer is 3. Along the X, the Y, and the Z. Now, what number represents a P suborbital? What number represents it?
1.
1. The values for the M, the azimuthal number, go from negative L to L. Since L is 1, that means negative 1, 0, positive 1. Those are how we get the 3 values. Questions?
L is 1.
L can be 0 for the S. L can be 1 for the P. What is L for the D? 2. What is L for the F? 3. So the numbers are 0, 1, 2, and 3. The letters are S, P, D, and F. Okay, questions? Okay, how many electrons fit in any orientation of a sublevel? Any one orientation, whether it's an S, whether it's a P, whether it's a D, whether it's an F. How many fit into each orientation?
There's a back page. Yeah, there was a lot of notes.
Correct answer is 2.
So unfair.
The one that is spinning in a up and down manner, plus 1/2 or minus 1/2. There are only 2 ways you can spin. There are only 2 possible electrons per orientation. Questions? Okay, good. Okay. So, this is everything laid out for quantum numbers. If you weren't here yesterday, this is the slide you need. Slide 11. Here are the quantum numbers. Principal quantum numbers go from 1 to 7. Based on that, we can determine the number of sublevels. So, first level 1 sublevel, second level 2, third 3, fourth 4, 5 in the 5th, 6 in the 6th, 7 in the 7th. That is a typo. There should not be a 7 there. Sorry about that. But we never need more than how many sublevels? 4. So there are S's, P's, D's, and F's. Questions? Okay. There is only one orientation of an S ever. It is a sphere. There is only one way to orientate it in space. There are 3 orientations of a P sublevel. They are along the x-axis, along the y-axis, and along the z-axis. 3 orientations. Always, that's all there will ever be. They are represented by the numbers -1, 0, and 1. For D's, there are 5 orientations. For F's, there are 7 orientations. If we needed another sublevel, ladies and gentlemen, how many orientations would it have? What? 9. 1, 3, 5, 7. The next one would have 9. After that, 11. We don't need them, but if we needed them, that's how we would figure it out. Okay? That's how we would figure it out. Okay? Now, because there is only one orientation here, there can only be 2 total electrons in the first energy level. Because there are 4 orientations here, 1 in the S, 3 in the P, there can be 8 total electrons in the second level. Because there are S's, P's, and D's in the third level, there can be 1, 3, and 5. For a total of 9 orientations, a total of 18 electrons will fit in the third energy level. In the fourth level, there is 1, 3, 5, and 7. No. 1, 3, yeah. 5, 7. For a total of 16 different orientations, or a total of 32 electrons. Questions? Now, please understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Your periodic table lays this entire system out for you and puts it in the order that you need it. Everything that you need is right here in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. These over here are what are called the S block. I would not write that on your periodic table because I can barely read it there. Those are what is called the S block. In other words, there are only 2 electrons that fit in the S's. Everything in the first family is S1. Everything in the second family is S2. Now, these are also S block. Why? Because the first level, that's all there is an S. So this is S1, this is S2. But here, these are now S2, these are all S1 all the way down. Questions? You guys are awesome. Over here, ladies and gentlemen, these are what is called the P block. In other words, there is an S in every single energy level, from 1 all the way to 7. Here's the S's in the first. Here are them for 2 through 7. Right? Questions? Good. The P's don't start until what energy level?
2.
2. And they are here all the way down till the 7th. These are the P blocks. This is P1, this is P2, this is P3, P4, P5, and from neon down, that is P6. Okay? Never more than 6 electrons in a P. How many orientations of a P are there? 3. Half the total number of electrons. Okay? Half the total number of electrons. All right. These, ladies and gentlemen, here are the D block. Okay? D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7, D8, D9, D10. But we said yesterday that the D's do what?
Probably back, like missing one. Like
Nope, they're not missing one,
they
but
go back, like they start, you know?
they are one behind.
Yeah.
So this top row, even though it is in the 4th period, these are the 3 Ds. These are the 4 Ds, these are the 5 Ds, and these are the 6 Ds. Okay? They are one behind. We don't want them to be this way, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the facts. The periodic table is set up this way, and it's set up awesome. And it's not our fault that the D's are one behind, but that's the only explanation we can give, is that the 3 D's fill after the 4 S's. The 5 D's, or the 4 D's fill after the 5 S's. The 5 D's fill after the 6 S's. That is just the way it is. We didn't want it that way, but that's just the way it is. Questions? Now, down here, these 2 are still part of the D block. They are the missing 2 elements that are right here. So these are D1s, ladies and gentlemen, that actually go here. The rest of these, okay. The rest of these here are what are called the F block. Okay? And how many F block orientations are there? How many? That's the number of electrons. What's the number of orientations? 7. Half of the number of electrons. You have F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, all the way to F14. But the F's are 2 behind, meaning even though this is the 6th period, these are the 4 F's and these are the 5 F's. Questions? Okay, then we'll move on. So here that is laid out for you on this slide as well. Same thing I just told you. Questions? So let's talk about the off-bow filling order. I think the off-bow filling order sucks, ladies and gentlemen. But here's how it works. Notice 1S, 2S, 3S, 4S, 5S, 6S, 7S, 8S. Do we have any in the 8S? No, but if we were to create a new element, we'd go there. Here's the P's. Why is there a 2P and why is there no 1P?
Because P's aren't in the first one.
P's don't exist until the second level. That sublevel doesn't exist until here. Why are there no 2Ds or 1Ds? They don't exist until the third level. The F's do not exist until the fourth. Off-bow gave us this diagram to help us remember the filling order. In other words, how it goes. Here's how it goes. 1S, 2S, 2P, 3S, 3P, 4S, 3D. There's that falling one behind. 4P, 5S, 5D, 5P, 6S, 4F. 2 behind. I realize I probably just lost some of you.
And then you just said 5D instead of 4D.
Did I say 4D? I'm sorry. Where was I at? Here?
Well, at the when you were at 4D, you said 5D, and then you kept going on.
Sorry, my bad. 4D, 5P, 1 behind again, right? 6S, 4Fs are next. Followed by 5Ds, 1 behind again. These were 2 behind. Then we go back to the 6Ps. Now this is great, and this is a wonderful thing, and if you could write it out this way and draw it correctly, that is absolutely wonderful. But you know what? I don't care. Why? Because it's all shown right here. It's all shown right here, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what I mean. The filling order says that...
Is that like a cursor also?
Yes. Okay, if you look at the periodic table, 1, what are these? S's, P's, D's. 1S. Okay, you get to the end, what do? You go back to the start. What are these?
2S.
What are these? 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 3Ds. I don't need the off-bow. It's right here on the periodic table. What are these? 4Ps. What are these? 5Ss. What are these? 4Ds. What are these? 5Ps. There it is for you, ladies and gentlemen. What are these? 6Ss. Okay. Now, got to be careful here. Got to be careful here. These were the what? 6S's. Where do we go from here? Down to the bottom here. Okay? Now this is technically what? Which one? 5D1. But then after it, what are these? Which F's? 4F's. So if we get all the way through these, do these completely fill up after here? Yes. There are no more 4Fs after this one, right? So the 4Fs completely fill. Then what do we go back to here? 5Ds. So 4Fs completely fill first, then the 5Ds.
You just skipped the first one.
We'll talk about it. Remember, for every rule in chemistry, we'll get to that. And then what are these? 6Ps. What are these? What are these? Well, we come down here. So again, assuming we get past all these, what are these? Which F's? 5Fs. Then what are these? Not 7Ds. 6Ds. And then 7Ps. What would come next? 8S's. Then what? Well, then we would drop down here again, right? I mean, isn't that the pattern? And all this is a giant pattern? So you can remember that off-bow. So here it is. Laid out for you, ladies and gentlemen. laid out for you. Questions? Okay, so let's get to this. This is the worksheet that is in your packet, worksheet number 2. Okay, now we're going to go through this real quick. We're going to go get some things done. We're going to show you some patterns. You will catch on. I know you will because my third hour caught on, or my second class caught on. And I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up which one of you guys is smarter, them or you. So let's go with this.
Well, it's us.
You guys are my best second period class this trimester. Absolutely no doubt in my mind about that. Shh, Cynthia. Don't tell the others that. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. What is the electron configuration for hydrogen? What? Cynthia, you and I went through this. Thank you very much. 1s1. How many electrons does it have? 1. That 1 electron is in the 1s. We're going to use an arrow to represent it spinning one direction. That's the only thing we need to write in there. Why? Because there's only 1 electron. Someone give me the configuration for helium other than Cynthia. No, not 2s1. 1s2. First level. Okay. The first level, ladies and gentlemen, helium is 1s2. All right. So now we put an electron in here spinning one way and an electron spinning the other. Questions? Now, why do they have to be spinning in opposite directions? Because if they weren't, they would have the same 4 quantum numbers. Okay? You want to write the quantum numbers for this? 1, 0, 0, plus 1/2. 1, 0, 0, minus 1/2. I would rather write this than that. But you're free to do whichever one you choose. Questions? So when we go to lithium, lithium has 3 electrons. What's the configuration? 1s2, 2s1. 1s2, 2s1. Why? Because lithium is ending, ladies and gentlemen, in the second period, in the S block, in the part where there is only 1 electron in it. Questions? Yes, no, maybe so. Here's your chance. Okay, so now 2 electrons go in the 1s. Where's the next one go? Yep. By the way, I don't care if you're putting the up arrow first and then the down arrow. I don't care if you're putting the down arrow and then the up arrow. But the 2 arrows, if there are 2 on one of those lines, they need to be going in opposite directions. Questions? All right, configuration for beryllium with 4 electrons. What is it? 1s2, 2s2. Boom, 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 boom.
So if it has a 1 in front of it, then it'll have what? Wait, I'm just not getting where you're like. How do we know how many arrows it has?
2, 4. 2, 2 for a total of 4.
So you want us to do the configuration first, and then
I would.
know the arrows.
We could do it the other way if you'd like. Let's do it the other way. Never thought about doing it that way, Sophia. 5 electrons for boron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me the configuration.
Oh, that makes it look so much easier.
1s2, 2s2.
1.
Nope. Read what's underneath.
2p1.
There you go. Carbon, how many electrons?
6.
1,
There's 6 arrows.
2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. Hund's rule. Hund's rule, ladies and gentlemen. Hund's rule says when you have multiple orientations of the same energy level, you will fill singly first and then doubly. In other words, I'm not going to put two electrons here until I put one here and one here. I'm going to take these three orientations and I'm going to fill them singly first, meaning I'm going to put one in the PX, I'm going to put one in the PY. If I had another one, I would put it in the PZ. I'm going to fill them singly first before I will ever double them up, because we know electrons will do what to each other? Why did I put it for the what? Oh, sorry. My bad. My bad. I wrote it in the wrong spot. Sorry. It's supposed to be down here. My bad. Thank you, Sophia. Configuration. Come on.
1s2. 2s2. 2p1. 2p1.
Now, for your writing the configuration, it doesn't matter where the arrows are. How many are in the 2p's?
2.
So we're just going to write 2p2. We're not going to break it down any more than that. Okay? But understand, this is what actually happens, and when we get to degenerate orbitals later, you'll understand why. Question?
So if we had a 2pz, it would be 2p3.
Correct.
Okay.
And then if you would start doubling them up, it would be 2p4 or 2p5. By the way, I really don't care if you put them in the X and the Y, if you put them in the Y and the Z. I don't care if you put them in the X and the Z. Nobody's going to stop an atom and look at where the electrons are. It's just a model. But we are going to put them singly first before we double them up. Questions? Yes, no, maybe so. How many electrons in copper? 29. Now, I don't want to write out all those dots and dashes and what we just did. So, copper is right here. Correct? Okay. So, we need to account for all 29 electrons that are in copper. Where are the first two? One S2. What's next after the 1s's? Do we get all the way beyond beryllium? Is our element after beryllium? So are the s's full? How would we write that? 2s2. Do we get all the way past neon? What is this block over here called from boron to neon? What? 2p6. Now, the reason I'm going all the way to 6 is because I know I got to get past this, correct? Okay. What are these here? 3s2, and I'm still going past them, right? What are these here? What are these here?
4.
What are these here?
3D.
Okay, but I'm stopping somewhere in them, aren't I?
3D9.
So 3D9. Questions?
Did you leave helium out?
No. Helium is part of the 1s2.
Oh.
So after I got past helium, 1s2. Then here I got past neon. Here I got past argon. Here I got past calcium. Stopped at copper. How many electrons does copper have? 29. Cynthia, here we go. You get to show off here, Cynthia.
No.
2 plus 2, Cynthia. Plus 6.
10,
Plus 2.
12,
Plus 6.
17,
This is always where we struggle, Cynthia.
18,
Plus 2.
20,
Plus 9.
29.
There's all of them, ladies and gentlemen. If you add up the exponents and you do not get the same number you have here, you are not correct. You are not correct. There's your check. But all of this came from simply going through the periodic table and knowing what each section was. Questions? Austin, you're looking at me like I'm crazy still.
I mean, yeah.
I understand. Picked a terrible day to miss, didn't you?
I have a question about the worksheet. Why were you?
Which one?
3
The
AP
one we
tests
just
in a
did.
row.
Okay, what's your question?
Why is the example like that?
Why is the example like that?
Because I've been looking at it and it doesn't make sense. Because
What's the example?
oxygen, but the electron configuration.
Okay,
is like weird.
for that configuration, I broke out the PX, the PY, and the PZ. I'm not making you do that.
Okay.
So yours should end 2P4. Okay?
That's what I thought.
If you break it out, it should be 2PX, 2PY, 1, 2PZ, 1. I wouldn't write it that way. I'm never going to make you write it that way. It's emphasizing Hund's rule for you. It's emphasizing filling singly first and then going back and filling doubly.
Okay.
Just to show that to you. We don't write it that way when it comes down to this. Questions? Okay, good. Let's do iodine. Iodine. How many total electrons?
53.
53. All right. So where do we start? 1s2. Okay. Lizeth, what's next? What comes after 1s2? What? 2s2. What comes next, Jennifer? No. What are these over here? How many? 2P what? Count them. How many P's are here, Jennifer? Count them. 1, 2, 6. What's next? This part right here. What are these, Olivia? What are these over here, Yuritsi? What are these over here, Leaf? Come on, what are these? Right here.
I wasn't here for this yesterday.
Well, come on. We just went through this.
I'm slow.
Okay, these are the 1S's up here, correct? These are the 2S's, right? What are these? Then what are these? You're not slow. You're not slow. You're just the right speed. 4S what? Yeah, you'll never have a number next to an S larger than what? What will never be large? What will the number be for a P? Never larger than what? What will it be for a D? What will it be for an F? Yeah, never, never, never. All right, Mitzi. What are these in here? Good. Okay, what are these over here? Austin. What are these over here? Austin,
Yeah.
what were these up here?
I forgot.
Don't forget, look at our two examples. What came after the two S's? These are the what? Which P's? You'll notice there's always a number first, right?
The two P's.
So what came after the three S's?
3 P's.
So here's the four S's and the three D's. What are these?
That's the 4 P's.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible, isn't it? This is horrible. Four P what?
P6.
Good. What are these?
5S2.
5S2. All right, Alexa. Or Alexis, sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I was talking to my assistant at home. What are these?
4D10.
All right. Then we end right there. Aiden, what are those? Putting your head down ain't going to help you, dude. You want to take a nap, you might as well go walk out the door right now and just go walk around the school, because if you're not going to pay attention to this, you have no shot. What's next? Farhan, help him out.
P5.
Now, you could say this is hard. You could say this is difficult, and I'll say bull to your face. This is the P block. Write that down somewhere. You got nothing out. You got nothing on your table. You're doing nothing. It's amazing that we're not following along, ladies and gentlemen. This is the P block. 2P, 3P, 4P, 5P. 5P is right after the 4Ds, which is right after the 5S's. Here's the number. It tells you what these are. These are the 5S's. These are the 5P's. The only thing that's confusing is the D's are one behind. The D's are one behind. Okay, let's do a little math here. Cynthia, I'm not going to make you do this. 2 and 2, 4. 6 is 10. 12, 18, 20, 30, 36, 38, 48, 53. Now, here's your chance, ladies and gentlemen. Questions? Yeah. Sure, you're just going to miss important instruction. That's up to you.
So the last two rows are
The last two rows, you got to be more specific. I'm not sure what you're talking about. 6 and 7 here?
the 6 and 7 on the bottom.
6 and 7 on the bottom.
So those are S4 and 5? Or is that for
This is 4F. This is 5F. Correct.
and then the first two are for
The first two are 5D1, 6D1. Questions? When you know what they are, all you got to do is put them in the order that they are in. And if we get past something, ladies and gentlemen, to get to here, we have to get past here. These all end P6, P6, P6. So all we got to do is write them down. 1S2 means that we're going to get to here. 2S2, 2P6 means we're going to get to here. 3S2, 3P6 means we're going to get to here. Now here we got 4S2, 3D10, and then we're back to 4P6. But again, we get to there. Next 5. 5S2, 4D10. Now we're stopping in the 5Ps. Where? 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5P5. The 5P5. Please ask me questions if you don't understand.
So we're not using 6 and 7 on this up there, though?
Up here?
No, The 6 and 7 on
Here?
the one above that one. The one
The
on
one, give me a letter, a symbol, something.
like the CS that one.
The CS. Here? Well, we haven't gotten that far.
But eventually we are going to use those two ones.
Well, if we ask for something in them, yes. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Write the configuration for gold. I'm going to clean all this up for you. Write the configuration for gold. Right here.
Says S&P, right?
So it says what
SVP.
orbital fills up after
Like
the 4F?
SDP.
After the 4Fs, they're down here. So what would come after the 4Fs?
D's.
Which ones?
5 D's. 4 D's. 5 D's. 5 D's.
If you're 4Fs, they're 2 behind. If you're going into the D's, they are 1 behind. So after the 4Fs would come the... No. 4Fs here. We get back into here. What are these?
The D's.
Which D's?
Original 10.
Look at the number here that you wrote down yesterday.
The 5 D's.
These are the 5 Ds then.
Well, how come you put 6 D's? It says what orbital fills up after the 4F.
After the 4Fs would be the...
5 D's.
Yes.
For gold? Yeah. Like to start off.
No,
It's gold?
So why are you asking me, bro? This is my first time kind of.
After
Wait,
the
what?
7F.
I'm like the worst person to ask you.
Oh.
What's after 7S? Well, 6D1. Then
Wait, but where's the 7Fs?
right here.
Wouldn't that be 7? Like, would be the 7S2?
Yeah. So what it's saying is after this, what would you go to next? What's the next section? So after this section, this is next, right?
Right.
After this, what's next?
The
Right here. After 18, 19 is next, right?
So after the 7S would be the
Now you gotta ask me what the exact question that is written there.
That's literally just what it says after the 7S.
Yeah.
What would fill up next?
I picture it.
I guess so. It just
Okay, so what would be next?
Find AU and
the 5S.
write down
Yes.
all the rows above it and find out where it is on
Yes.
in the list.
So after we do the CS2, then do we do the 3D?
Here's 3S2. What are these? They're the next.
Those are just like the rows.
3Ps.
3P6?
Yeah.
Can I have a new packet? I kind of started writing them down and I did it.
So like for AU, I went through all of these, wrote all of these down. And then I looked at here, okay, so we have this is the S, so I put the 6S2, the 4F we went through,
It would be
and then it's the 5D2.
like here in
This
this
one we're not doing all the tens, or all the, yeah, so it's 5D9. So I finally
You
wrote
count
that
the 2 in the first one. You only
and I
count
wrote
those
everything
powers.
above it.
Oh yeah.
You only count those powers. And that's just a quick double check to say, did I get the right number? Did I account for that?
Are we just working on switching over to the bottom section?
Yeah.
And then just go through 5, do 1, and then like the F's and then come back to the D's.
Yes.
So it'd be like 5 D.
I know.
D1 and then 10.
Well, you gotta figure it out.
I'll count for like
Okay.
1 S1.
But if you're going back into the D's, you're gonna account for that one
2S1.
back in the D's. You don't need to make it separate.
2S. Okay, so it's
What? 2S2?
Cross that out.
Girl, I said it wasn't 2S2, you
Yes.
said 2S1. No, it's not 2S2. That was you, I'm sorry.
Unless you do
Okay.
want like something in the first period, you won't have a 1, 2, like the first part of each letter.
Everything will start out 1s2 unless you happen to be doing hydrogen. Hydrogen is the element that would be 1s1.
It's okay.
Mr. Red.
Where's the horse?
1S2, 2S2, 2.
Yes.
I know
orange chart.
Yes. 1, 2, 2, and 3 S.
These ones, like let's say you're asking.
I'm not done.
Okay.
This one.
I don't
Okay.
care.
So then after the five, the 6 P's, right?
Yeah.
5, 6 P, or P6, whatever. I go down here.
These are what?
3, 6 P's.
Now, where do you want to stop? Okay. So these are the 6 S's, right? So what is this?
D4.
So which do you want?
So I can show you something.
No?
For S2, and then it goes to
Five,
the
seven,
7 P's, right? Yeah.
5 P.
Where's the S? Right here, you gotta remember those two. Those are two.
What is this?
These are, these two are D's,
Because
yes.
it's in these.
So you
And
did
you're
F's
talking
first.
to me
and then
about
you go to
specific exceptions.
You literally got this, to be honest.
These are 6 S's, right?
And
What
4
was this?
P6. Yes. Okay. Okay.
5D. And then what is this?
5, F.
Okay. Okay. Okay, you got this. Okay.
So this,
No, the thing is, I'm just gonna run
are
out.
the only ones that will act as B spots, and the rest of these are F's. So like you're asking for this one, I have to do here,
To
here.
here and then to here.
So I have to use this one too.
Correct.
So I have to do D, whatever, and
Correct.
then.
Who's got a question? I'll be there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so after your.
1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
These are what? 6 S's, right? Correct, but you gotta do these first, right? You do count these, otherwise you're not gonna get to there.
This will be your 4.
8. 8.
4.
Count these again.
And then you go to your
Oh,
C's.
don't count this one.
Oh, 5. Wait.
Count just these. Just count these. Okay. Which F's are they?
And then
Do you understand?
Nope. These are 2 behind. This is 3D. This is 4D. This is 5D.
5, 2, 3, 6.
This is what F?
For an A, yeah, would it be 3, S, 1?
4F. So now you write 4F. Now you write 4.
And then
This belongs in here.
for the P's, when it's like
Yes.
Where you put your.
We write 4F. Good.
You just change
Now what are these?
depends on what it is, if it's
It's
a
a document.
40,
For right here.
Yeah, but do you,
But
I
you
know
add
but
that.
for the
So
arrow,
by these,
when it's like
count how much over you have.
so for N, would it be?
Otherwise, you're not gonna have.
Oh, yeah, because gold is with the average.
Yeah.
We do put these together. When you do 2S2, you're putting these together.
Anything past this, or past
We don't.
and based on the number,
So it
That is just that first one.
anything after GA, you have to have that. Because the next one is about RA. Yeah,
Well,
yeah, anything
okay.
past,
So
or
here's
actually
successes,
anything
right?
past LA.
You gotta get through these, right?
Yeah.
Those are the next thing.
Anything
That's what you
past
list
B,
after the 6S, yes.
where
You
this
list
is,
those.
even if it's just the F one.
And those are not
So if I just
6Ds,
stop right
these
there.
are one behind.
But you have to make sure you have the F in there.
Okay.
Like how you did it for us. Yeah, for a.
That's wrong.
Whoa.
I know that's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
here's
know
the
that's
thing,
wrong.
these are what?
These are
Those are Fs, which
Because
Fs?
that's what it is. These are fours.
Oh, because it takes you down
Two
there.
behind.
Four.
Those are 4Fs. You gotta put the 4Fs first.
Okay.
Okay, let me see what you got.
When I signed up for this class, I did not
How do you know you were wrong?
expect it to get me. I look at gun in the back.
So how do you know he's not wrong?
I looked for, okay, so
It's like so much thinking.
So you erased everything, so I can't even see and I can't even help you.
So.
Can't help you, dude. Can't help you.
Okay, I'm feeling good. It just takes me a bit to like.
Okay, I'm not sure yet.
So we're gonna do.
You at least have some
CN,
reasonable
write
stuff
all
there.
of it down, and then, but you won't
Yes.
You would
First of all,
change
those
it.
are not 6 F's.
So I'll.
The F's are 2 behind. You have it written right there.
I know, but like,
That's what they are.
they're not direct, like.
They're not these, they're F's, but the F's are 2 behind. You have it written right there. Why would you put 6 F when it's not a 6?
Is this on our test? Because I don't think I understand.
Wait, so
After six, ask them.
my old table.
The 4 F's.
Hold up.
Just like the D's are behind, so are the F's.
You don't gotta worry about these though.
Have all of them all stacked.
Not if you're stopping here.
Like our value.
Well, if we were to stop down there, you would, or if we were to go down to here, yes.
Those F's is-
We didn't worry about these down here when we stopped up here, did we?
No.
Yeah.
Are these X?
Yes, those are still F's. These here, these last 14 are still F's.
Okay.
This one or your?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Okay, let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's S.
We're going down here to gold. Okay, what does every configuration start out as long as you get past helium? Okay, do we get past beryllium? Do we get past neon? Do we get past magnesium? Do we get past argon? What is it then? What are these? 4s2. What are these? What are these? Notice D's are 1 behind. After the 4s's come the 3D's. 1 behind. What comes after the 4p6? 5s2. What comes after that? 4d10. What comes after that? 5p6. What comes after that? 6s2. Now, here is where we need to be careful. And here is why we need to be careful. This down here in the bottom, lanthanum. Describe lanthanum for me in terms of a configuration. What is this spot right here? 5D1. But are we getting through all of these elements? So then we are going to list the F's first because we are completely going through them. If we were to stop somewhere in here, we would list this 5D1 and then we would list the 4F and where we would stop in here. If you don't list this 5D1, guess what? When you're done, you're going to come up 1 short. Okay? But only if you're stopping down here. So because we're getting all the way through and we're getting back up into here, we list these all at once and we list them first. What are they? 4F14. And these are 2 behind. 6S, 4Fs. Then what are these in here, ladies and gentlemen? 5D9. Now, I did not have to list the 5D1 and then 5D9 afterwards because this 1 is part of these 9. Questions? So let's add it up. Cynthia, did you want to add this one up with me? No. I don't blame you. 2, 4, 10, 12, 18, 20, 30, 36, 38, 48, 54, 56, 79. How many are in gold?
So come on.
Boom. You got it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God,
You
we're
got
so
it.
smart, guys.
Questions?
You okay?
Boy, that's a lot of work though, ain't it?
There's a
Boy, it
shortcut.
would be really great if there was a shortcut, wouldn't
Oh
it?
my God, Mr. Brand.
Don't
Are
call
you-
me a god.
are
I'm
you
not a
gonna-
god. I'm just an average, ordinary man.
Are you gonna tell us a shortcut after we did all this work?
Would you like to know a shortcut?
Yes.
You should have asked me about a shortcut.
Oh my God.
There's a shortcut, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the shortcut for you, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here's the shortcut, ladies and gentlemen.
ZE. We're getting ZE from.
So you just add them together.
Oh, so you just combine
Combine
like terms.
Huh?
Combine like terms.
What the heck like terms are you talking about?
Well, you add all the S's, you add all the F's, you add all the D's.
Well, then how come I left these S's here and these D's here?
Because you can't add them. Oh, because ZE is the last one in the row, and then you add the ones that are after it until you get to the one. Why do you keep pointing to your nose?
Because you're right on the nose. You're correct. Called the noble gas core, ladies and gentlemen. If I write this in brackets with the number after it, what's that number?
Oh, that's
Y54.
Because that's the.
That's how many electrons are in xenon. This takes the place of that.
That's crazy.
What about the last
Wow.
three?
What?
Can you write that?
What about the last three? Five.
What about this?
That was.
You have to use the noble gas in the row above and then describe the row that it's in. 6s2, 4f14, 5d9.
Wow.
Now, 54 plus 2. Anyone? 54 plus 2? Not difficult math. Plus 14? 70.
70.
Plus 9?
79.
Guess what? You can still check your math.
Are you ever gonna ask us on a test what's the extended version of AU, or do you want us to write?
Have I not told you what the test is like?
Oh yeah.
Have I not told you that I've given you all of the answers to
But,
your
like,
test here?
Aren't
And
we
is
gonna
a
take
single
quiz?
one of these answers 1s2, 2s2, 2p6?
Well, are you ever gonna like for like the quiz? Don't we have like a second quiz? For
Oh,
that?
don't worry about that. That's next week.
Yeah, but like on the quiz, are you gonna like ask us something like that or no?
To write a configuration like this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
definitely.
like, would you ever ask us like the extended version or?
I might.
Wait, so how do we know how far
So-
away we have?
Oh, yeah.
You go, this is in the sixth period, right?
You go to the.
You go to the noble gas of the period above.
Oh.
You go to the noble gas of the period above. And by the way, you cannot use the noble gas core to describe the configuration of the noble gas.
What?
So if you're doing argon, you can't put it in brackets and put an 18 and be, I'm done. No, you can use neon, the one above it, but then you need to describe the last row that argon is in. Questions?
Does it matter which one we do?
What do you mean? You always go to the row above. So since we're in this row here, we go up and to the end.
No, like on the quiz, like does it matter which way we do it, like the shortcut or the long way?
It doesn't matter. It's not on your quiz tomorrow. And if I want you to do the long way, I will say do the long way. And if I want you to use the shortcut, I will say use the shortcut.
So if it doesn't specify and we forget the shortcut, we can write it in the long.
You can always write it in the long way. Yes, absolutely. Always put it in the long way.
So the last three of our a whole configuration or whatever, it's gonna tell us.
Well, remember, okay, let's use the shortcut here and do something a little bit different real quick. All right, so let's go with astatine. AT. Now, what is the noble gas in the row above astatine? Xenon. So we are going to begin with xenon, and we do 54. Okay? Now, what is this part right here? Try again. 6s2. Oh, you got your own table to look at. Now, we get all the way through the F's, correct? And all the way through the D's to get over to here, right? So which one do we list first? The F's, because we get through them first. Okay? So what do we write down? 4F14. Do we get all the way through the D's? Okay, so what do we write down? And then what do we finish?
Wait, 6p5.
54, 56, 70, 85. Woohoo! We're right. Questions? Yeah.
So what is KLM?
What?
What is the alphabet?
Oh, you want to know what KLMNOP is? Okay, good. Let's go to that then, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so give me an element. Let's do neon. Whoop. Let's do neon. Oh my God, it's on your worksheet. It's like somebody playing this. All right, symbol neon. Give me the configuration, somebody for neon. Hurry, come on. Don't use a noble gas core. Give me the configuration. No, don't give me a noble gas core.
1s2, 2s2, 2p6.
1s2, 2s2, 2p6. That's it? Okay. L represents all of the electrons in the first, or K represents all of the electrons in the first energy level. How many are there? 2. L represents all the electrons in the second. How many are there? There you go.
What?
You add up all the subscripts for each energy level, and you put them in front of the appropriate letter. K represents the first energy level, L represents the second, M represents the third, N represents the fourth, O represents the fifth, P represents the sixth, and Q represents the seventh.
Wait. So let's say we had 3s2, so then M would be 3. I mean 2.
Yes. Good. Oh, we got time for one more. All right, give me another one. Let's go with let's go with astatine. And let's use a noble gas core.
Can we do B?
Astatine number 33. What noble gas core would we use? Argon. 18. Then what would it be? 4s2. 3d10. 4p3. Okay, let's start with the 4. What letter represents the 4th? N. So what number do I put there? Try again.
Wait. 3.
2 and 3 is 5. Now here's a problem. We used a noble gas core.
8.
How many are in the first?
2.
In a noble gas core?
Well,
You're sure?
18.
What?
18 first. Oh, 2. It's always 2. Well, it's always 2.
Okay. How many are in the second?
4. Wait. 8. Yeah, 8.
How many are in the third?
18. Really?
10, 28, 33. Works out. Now, what? What? I put numbers on the side that mean something? You're kidding.
I know.
Enough.
Wow, look at that. It's like someone's taught this before.
Stop.
Wait, what
That's
is that?
amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely amazing.
Wait, what are the numbers on the side mean?
Oh, you'd have to ask Sophia. She figured it out.
Of your electrical are the levels. So if you look
I have
at
to
the
watch the
AX,
videos.
you
I
just
don't
do
know
the
what
numbers
those
on
are.
the side, so 2, 8, and then you do the rest of the ones to the last one.
Oh.
Well, it's not quite as easy as we just did, though.
It's something like that.
Close. We just didn't have. We don't have time to expand on it. Hey, have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Let your brains electron away. Knowing how many electrons are in something will, this stuff will, that will, yeah. Well, we're not doing configuration, so no, but we are doing quantum numbers. Yes. Hey, who's got my other charging pack?
Me.
Oh.
Like that?
No. Like, what does the first quantum number, what's the second quantum number, what's the third quantum number, how many orientations, how many orbitals there are? Yep, that stuff. Yep, I got it. Olivia, thank you very much.
I don't know how to do it, so that's
Olivia, we plug it in just like you unplug it.
yeah.
These are
But I
just,
didn't know
these
which
just
one
go
it
to the
was.
block in front of you, to the power strip.
Mom.
Okay? Have a great day.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Jane Kerr, please report to student services.
I'm gonna go